Hey everyone, it's been a minute since I have filmed. My husband and I took a trip to New York City over Memorial Day to bring my little niece, who's 4, to New York City for the first time. So, as you can imagine, we came back pretty tired and right into the week, and that week was quite a week. So, just getting back to settling in home a couple weeks later and taking care of a few odds and ends, and was finally able to carve out some time to plan. Now, I don't really have anything planned in advance. All I know is that I wanted to update this planner, and I thought I would film it. So I might break it down into a few different videos depending on how long I'm going on and on for. But I did want to let you know why I'm already updating it. But as you know, some of the prior videos I said I'm a huge advocate to just start somewhere and then figure it out as you go. And one of the reasons why I like subscription boxes is because you get to play around and do those types of things. So I did set things up, and I originally had these fold out pages as planners in here. So like that would be a full week. And these are from Peanuts Planner Co. But like I'll take maybe when I worked in. And so you would have to fold it out to sit here like that on the desk. And I realized I wasn't using it as much because if it's closed, if you want to just leave your planner open, you can't really see the dates back here. And I'm a fan of when you're sitting there working to just leave the planner out so that you always see it as you're doing things or trying to get things done. And then another thing was these cutout calendars. I was going to use it specifically for one section, and then I realized I wasn't using it. I used it for May, and then I didn't go in and redate. And I thought, there's no point in having a planner if it's not working for you. It can look cute and all, but you still want it to work for you, just so you can, make the most out of everything that you're intending to. But just real quick, I'm going to flip through. It's a little bit different if you saw the prior setup, so I might not go into too much detail. But I still just have my dashboard, and then the year I moved all of the calendar related things to the front, as well as my monthlies. So this was initially back in catch-all, and again, I want to get to it right up front, more so to mimic how this is set up. This is my pocket I use as a wallet, and I love it. I've been in this system for a long time, but at the same time, there's a lot coming up in our life that having multiple planners and syncing calendars might not be as feasible. I really don't want to part with the system, and I'm not there yet. But I do want to take what's worked here and transfer it to the way I have my personal wide setup. So it'll be similar but different. And again, that's to maybe get down to maybe just using this one for a while and see how that goes. So I still want to have that functionality. So the way these calendars are set up is similar to the pocket, just much broader, bigger scale. So I moved those to the front. I still have a mindful section here, just a morning mindset. I really like that. Used to be in my old habit tracker. Some gratitude log. And then the overview, I have it set to be just maybe a weekly overview for the beginning of the week, but it's more so not necessarily work tasks or things you have to do, but maybe it's intentions and how it's focused on how can I be productive and how can I be present. So it's more about that mindset. Highlights progress challenges completed, reflections. How can I improve next week? So I just have this in here to see if I do use it. Again, it's just a mindful section because at the speed of light, like most of us travel, it's hard to do sometimes. Then I have an MBA section as I apply to go back, determining which schools are the best fit for me. I am targeting a lot of really good schools, and it's exciting and terrifying at the same time. So, starting, getting ready for the GMAT, going down that road again. I've already taken the GRE when I went to graduate school the first time, so getting back into the swing of things. Just some motivation here. I hope you have the courage. And the first time I read this, I got teary-eyed because it's really beautiful. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put it in here. It'll be super motivating. This too, I added because in this habit tracker, which I love to pieces, I have the overview here, and they were just MBA tasks that I wanted to do. And I realized, okay, it's great for my habit tracker, but maybe things like that I can keep directly in this section. So I bought a larger size and put it in here to see if I'll use it. This is a brand new one, but this was set to be just a weekly overview and everything that's relevant for week over week until it's no longer relevant. I print a new one, I make it, and then it kind of serves as a reference. So that's a new reference sheet, different dates. And then once I narrow down the schools, I want to be able to put the school name, deadline for applying, start and complete date, key tasks I need to do for each. So I added that to the section, thinking that would be really helpful. And then the catch-all is exactly what it is. It's just a catch-all. So I put some blank paper first, my inbox, tasks I need to do, just as they come up. I have a really bad habit of just putting them on sticky notes or a bunch of different planners, whatever one I'm using at the time. And I think it might help me feel a little less scatterbrained to have it one place. Outbox, I don't have anything there yet because what was Outbox, I took this tab off. I think it was Other. I had finances under Outbox and spending because it's money going out, but I just made it its own section, and I'm sure the more I use it for Outbox, the more I'll figure it out. These pen tabs, this Moterm Personal Versa did not come with a pen loop. So these are from Amazon, and I just stuck it on a dashboard and put a pen there. So just makeshift. So that's financial stuff. And then reference. So this is really more in line with the reference section I have back here. All of these little pink tabs back here are mainly the reference tabs. So I'll try and mimic that a bit. And aside from all those that I just updated, I did print new ones that I'm going to add in. And that's this week, so I can leave it out on my desk just like this. I think just for me, the way I function best, if it's laid out, it's great. Pockets too small. A lot of comments on the videos, a lot of people agree that the pocket's just too small to write in. I hear you. I can't. I just keep a high level calendar in a daily. Even the personal's a little skinny. So I'm going to add those in and see how I like them. And then I also printed for fun just a timed one. I think it was a day timer. It was a big letter size planner that was just it was like increments of 15 minutes, and I would write in it and I'd use it up. And then if I remember mid-year there'd be a sale because it was no longer who needs a full year calendar with 4 months left, I would buy it and start over and keep it clean. So it's not as necessary because during these times I'm at my job So what am I going to write? But I might start to put in like really big work things that I have to consider when I'm trying to plan. Because I don't put my work email on my personal cell phone. I just separate it. And but sometimes having an understanding of when really, really big things are happening that I need to plan around, that might be helpful. So I printed that to see if I'm going to use it. I also printed this layout to see if I'll use it. I'm not sure. It's the way my brain works. I don't know if leave a comment if you agree, but I just like having the weeks across this way versus down that way. I've always been that way. It's like I can't use the horizontal planners. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is um, about my personality, but it's tough. However, I say that because I'm going to see if maybe it just hits me one day of what it might be best for. So I didn't print too many. I just printed one page to see how that goes. And then the mind map I really like because I'm going to put this in the school section, so I can put the school in the center, and facts about it. And as I'm exploring it, because I need to figure out the best fit, and it's a bit more daunting than I anticipated. So I printed those, and I'm going to put them all in here. And then after that, I'll do that with you. And let me know what you think. I mean, is it something that you also kind of, maybe not struggle with, struggle might not be the right word, but do you find that you like change systems a lot and maybe you have a hard time figuring out what to do next, or maybe something's working for you and you don't really, you don't know what would work better, or you don't know yet like what makes you tick a bit in terms of planners. I don't know. There's that ever searching for planner piece that you know what that's like. And I believe I'm there, mostly there, but it can be challenging. If there's something I'm not using, for example, if I'm not going to use certain pages right away, but I want to have them in here in case the mood strikes me, I'll just put them in the back. And that way they're there if I'm on the go and want to use them. And then, so, here we go. MBA, put my tasks, what I want to do there, and then schools. And I only put, if you saw, can't put it in May. I only do a couple months at a time because, like last time, I just printed probably too many, and then I didn't use them. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to say, was that one of the reasons, besides just the fold-out size, was the fact that I found the grid at times like hard to read. So I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was a lot of boxes, and I thought I could just write in it, and then it didn't stand out to jump out at me to do as readily as just writing on plain paper. So those are the updates for now. And again, this is not a personal wide size, but I'm using the Personal Versa to see how functional I make it. All of the tabs are from cloth and paper. I just went with like white font to keep it neutral, and I'm really going to try to use it as much as I can for a catch-all. But I started to look at other planners that are true personal wide size, so it doesn't start to kind of keep bumping into the side tabs here. But that's it. That is just first and foremost an update as to how it's set up. So if you're brand new, because I still feel like I'm new to planning from time to time, and a lot of videos are assume you've been doing it forever. So I put just a set of clear side tabs to be the main, kind of the main catch-all and the main topics that I'm focusing on. But I like actually putting a label on it because depending on the season of life, that could totally change. For a long time, I had tabs for you name it. It could sound like the most mundane task to someone else, but for me, it was such a focus and need to do that I get dedicated a space to it. I was taking the months out as I go to save some space, but I just left these in. I started this late, so I figured there's no point putting tabs in if I never used it for the month. And so I put the monthly tabs in just one of the sections. Dashboards are nice, but I'm trying to keep it pretty minimal and use them functionally, where I might put like notes and things like that. Always have a catch-all section and reference. You could think, well, what's the difference between a catch-all and a reference? A reference would be like, I'm putting, when did I last pick up a prescription, or doctors' phone numbers, or allergies, or like the, my sizes in certain brands or what have you, or makeup numbers if I need a refill. So certain things would be reference, and then a catch-all would just be like random notes that I'm brainstorming and I want a place to put it, or run a running master to-do list that I need to constantly work off of. That would be an example. But so far, I think that will help me continue to use it, but use it a little bit more. I have liked bringing this to work with me. When I do bring it to work, I take the sleeve out and I just use that. Now, again, I've said it's not exactly the same size, but for me, when I'm just trying something, it doesn't have to be perfect. I've watched like horrendous stories of people that spend $800 on a planner and then they don't use it and then they need to sell it, and that's challenging. And I want to know I'm going to use it a ton before I drop serious money on something like that. So I do recommend that too. If you're new, you don't need to come right out of the gate and buy everything that's super expensive. I mean, once you get the knack of it, then sure, spend some money. Like even this, I love my Moterm planners. I could go buy a Gilio, but this works for me. I don't need it to be more expensive. She's a workhorse for sure and holds a lot. And I kind of like that she's starting to wear a little bit just from how loved she's been. But this also stays on my desk, so don't feel like you have to drop a lot of money because you decided to get into a hobby. You can do everything very reasonably. I'm a big fan of not stretching beyond your means just for something to play with. But by all means, if that is something that helps to motivate you to use it, do it. There's absolutely zero judgment from my end. I'm just sharing what might work for me. So that's all for now. That's just a quick update of the setup and a quick little flip through if you're thinking of how to set your own up. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. I try to get to them as regularly as possible. A lot of you asked about my nails. Just haven't taken the time to go do that, but I do miss them and I would like them back. But letting them breathe is also healthy. So we'll see if I make the time and use my Apple Cash to go get my nails done. So it's also not directly out of my pocket. So anyway, that's it, and we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate your time.